Welcome everybody, I'm Lizzie Brooks and this is how to start an at-home yoga practice. So come on with me to my first little trick, which is leave your yoga mat unraveled on the ground at all times. So that's, of course, if you can. If you have a space and you can do that, that has changed so many of my students' lives. It's changed my life. When something is rolled up, put away, put into a cabinet or a cupboard, we're less likely to use it. So psychologically and physically, we are more apt to get onto that mat, even if it's for 5 minutes, than if it was put away. So leave it out somewhere where you can close the door and say, bye-bye, I'm doing some yoga. I want to put it out there that I was really resistant to an at-home practice. I would go to classes and the teacher would say, yes, and then when you have your at-home practice, and I would just, I would laugh inside and say, oh, at-home practice, because I just felt like I did not have the discipline, and I would only do it if I was at a yoga studio. Things have changed a lot, and right now is during the time that a lot of people are staying home and they're doing more yoga online. And I used to think I was gonna hate yoga online too. And now I do it as part of my job and I love it. And it's a lot different than I expected. So I hope that will be the same for you. So number one is you've made the decision that you want an at-home practice. That's the number one thing you have to do. You've done that, bravo. Two is you need to get a yoga mat. I'm going to link my video up here. It's how to find the right yoga mat for you. I cannot tell you how much I wish I had that information when I started yoga, because I would have saved a lot of money. So if you want to pause this video, go watch that one or watch that one later, please do, because you can really make or break your yoga practice based on what you're practicing on. It's like having a pair of running shoes that works for you or running in a pair of flip-flops. So do check that out. You'll get a lot more information about what kind of yoga mat that you need. Another one is the space that you do your yoga in changes whether or not you'll do it. So if you can find a quieter space, that's great. Not somewhere where the kids are calling all over you, or actually that can work too. Sometimes you can only do yoga when the kids are around, and that might even get them into yoga, so that works. But if you want to have some alone time, somewhere you can close a door is great. Somewhere with some natural light, also probably going to be helpful. You want to find an instructor who meets you where you are. So whether that's online or in person, however you're doing your yoga, if you go to classes that are intimidating you, where everybody has, Cirque du Soleil bodies, or they're super, super strong and they're doing all these arm balances, that's not the practice for you if you're a beginner. Generally, you want to find something where you feel totally invited. It's all inclusive, there are modifications. If you want to do more, you can. If you want to do less, you can. There is a plethora of yoga on the internet and free yoga, like here, where you can really test the waters and see what type of instruction you like, what type of yoga you like, because there's so many different kinds and styles that really you can find the yoga that meets you exactly how you feel each day. So do your homework, do your research, and don't settle for anything but feeling good, okay? Let's see, maybe bring a friend into this. So sometimes accountability is an issue with having a home practice. So maybe you have a friend and you're both doing this yoga thing, or maybe your friend is running but you're doing yoga or something like that, and you just check in with each other. Did you do your workout? How did it go? That's okay. Be very forgiving if you didn't, but it's just always nice to know that someone is waiting to hear whether or not you stuck to your goals. So maybe bring a friend or a family member into it and do it together. Let's see. You might want to try live classes. Even if you're not going into a studio, try a class that's happening live. I offer Zoom classes. My website is lizziebrooksyoga.com. And if you want to look into doing live classes with me, that's another way to be held accountable because you have, for me, you make a donation to my class and then I send you a link and you're accountable. It's happening at that time. You've made your donation and you're more apt to show up and stick with it. And whether you do that with me or someone else, there's, again, lots of choices. Experiment, make shapes with your body, do movements that feel good to you. Play around with it. So even if you're not watching someone on a screen or in a class, just get on your mat, roll around a little bit, do some stretching. It's funny that you kind of know what to do when you just sit and listen and you're not so hypercritical. You'll find areas of the body that you know how to stretch. If I go like this, it feels one way. If I go like this, it feels another way. So play with that. Find what you don't like. That could change over time, but find the yoga that isn't for you and just cross it off for now and just let that hone you in to what you do like. And then this is critical. If you stop practicing for a while, if you were doing it every day or every other day, and then a week happened, and then a month happened, or a year happened, and you stopped practicing, look at that as a pause, not a stop, okay? So if you pause a movie, there's still the rest of the movie to watch, okay? If you pause reading a book and you put your bookmark in there, there's still the rest of the book. So you might pause, but don't look at the pause as a stop. So often I hear people with lifestyle changes, diets, yoga, they'll say, well, I screwed up. I had a piece of cake, and it's like, well, I just threw all my hard work out the window. No, you had a piece of cake, and then the next day you can go back to what feels healthier to you, right? So take a pause sometimes in your yoga practice and then come back, because it's always going to be here for you. It's a pause, not a stop. So I hope that this helped you. I am very excited that you are venturing into a journey into yoga. Know that 5 minutes is better than nothing. 1 minute's better than nothing. So don't feel like you have to do a super long practice in order for you to find benefit. It's not the case. I even have shorter practices online, 10-minute yoga resets that can totally reboot your system. And if I remember, I'll put that in the cards too. So thank you so much for listening. I'm Lizzie Brooks, and I hope you have a beautiful day. Please subscribe, please let me know in the comments anything you want me to make a video about, questions. Let me know how it's going on your home practice yoga journey. Thanks so much. Bye-bye.